Hey everybody, it's Missy again. Thanks for joining me today. I'm back with a project for the Paige Evans design team, and I'm going to be making a mini album today. This is the second mini album that I have created as part of Paige's team, and it's going to be a summer layout, and I have all of these pool pictures that I'm going to include in my layout. Most of them are color, a couple of them are black and white. And this video is very long because I tried to include as much of the process as I could, so it will not hurt my feelings one bit if you just want to skip to the end, because I do a final flip through and then I do show close-up shots at the end. But I wanted to include as much of the process as I can, and I still didn't film the entire thing because I'm very slow when it comes to these kinds of projects, and I just couldn't film the entire thing. So I do film the bulk of it though, and I pulled mostly papers from the Oh My Heart 12 by 12 paper pad to start with. And I personally don't think I'm that skilled at making mini albums, but I do like the challenge of doing something different and out of my comfort zone. And so the focus of this is going to be summer with lots of flowers, because our theme this week is flowers. And if you have the Oh My Heart 12 by 12 paper pad, then this piece that I am tearing apart here is included in that. It is a 12 by 12 sheet of a bunch of different sized die cuts that are already made for you, and they have perforated edges, and so I'm just going to tear those apart, and I'm going to use several of those in my album. And I've sped a lot of this up, and then there's parts of it that I slowed down, so hopefully you get the gist of everything that I'm doing. This is going to be very simple, and I'm using different things that I think will associate well with summer, and I pulled out a lot of bright colors because, you know, I watch Steffi Reed's album, her videos, and see her, or not her videos, but her blog post, and then I see Paige's, and I'm just blown away by their mini albums. They are just so good at it, and I struggle with this type of thing, but I think it turned out pretty cute. And it was fun to work on a smaller scale than a typical 12 by 12 layout. So hopefully you guys will like this and get some inspiration. Now I'm going to use this paper here as my cover. And I like the way it looks like sun rays. It's bright, it's colorful, and you know I love bright colors. And I wanted to have different sized papers in there. I'm going to use some circle punches. I'm going to make some of the pages smaller. The actual album is going to be about 4 by 6, but I wanted to just have some random sizes in there. I wanted to have some pages that were too big, that kind of stick outside the edge, and that I could fold in. I wanted different edges, and so that's what I'm doing here with this old, very old Martha Stewart punch. I'm going to just cut this one a little bit and then just tear it. I wanted it to look kind of messy and not completely straight and even, because you know how I scrapbook. I like messes and I like things to be kind of crooked, but parts of it I want it to be nice and organized. So I'm going to cut several papers perfect 4 by 6, and other ones I'm going to, like I said, punch or tear. I'm going to have a couple of hearts in the mix, and I'm just using different random things. Now I always try to start out with one collection, but then I wind up branching out and using the other 2 collections as well. Now this is also from the 12 by 12 paper pad, and it's white with that really pretty metallic rose gold. And so I cut out 2 sayings, but I only wind up using 1. Now this is what I've got so far. Different sizes. You can see there I got some little die cuts, some papers, and that's kind of what I want to go for. Just some different edges and different sizes kind of put together. So I decided to go into the fancy free 12 by 12 paper pad, and this is Paige's first collection. Gorgeous. All of her collections are gorgeous, but I wanted to have lots of things with flowers, and so I wanted to make sure that I had the flowers covered, and there are flowers in all of her collections. And I go back and forth. Like I said, this took me a good 2 days to actually get through. And I still wanted to add more to it, but there just has to be a time where you wrap it up and you're just finished. Because the more I went into it, the more into it I got, and the more I wanted to add. And I thought, okay, this just needs to stop because you'll be here for the rest of eternity adding stuff to this little mini album, and then it won't be mini at all. It'll be huge. So I had to kind of limit myself. This is one of my favorite papers in the Fancy Free collection, and I cut a couple of circles. And I'm going to use those 2 journaling spots that are the cut apart cards. Now this is the Fancy Free 6x6 paper pad. And I try not to throw any of my scraps away. And this is the perfect example. If you're making something small like a mini album, you can use scraps for this. So many little bits and pieces you can add in. So I have to add some mixed media in because that's my first love. And I just took a couple of scrap pieces of white cardstock. I'm going to add some clear gesso. I punched the edge of one. And then I'm just going to come in with some gelatos. Since most of my pictures are, in the pool, there's a lot of aqua and blue. So I wanted to add a little bit of that to the background. And at this point, I don't even know what pictures are going to go on what pages. I'm just trying to make the pages first. And then I'll worry about the pictures later. And this may be totally wrong on how to make a mini album. But like I said, I haven't made that many in my life. And so I'm just kind of doing what I feel like doing at the moment and hope that it works. Hope for the best. Yes, I know I need a new paper towel. That one is well used. But it still works. So I'm just going to keep using it until it completely dies. So I'm combining some shimmers in the mix, just my typical favorite colors, Jenny B Blue and Well Blue Me Down, along with the gelatos there. And this is going to be a background for photos or a photo, and so it doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm going to use pinks and oranges on this one. And I haven't used my Martha Stewart border punches in a long time, so that was fun to pull those out and use those. I'm just using my palette knife here to scrape the pink and the orangey colors together. And then I thought, I'm going to make a little sun. Since I tend to do that a lot on my summer layouts, I thought, why not do it on this page? That is a really old, cheap, I don't even remember the brand, of a little sunburst stencil. I just added it there with some yellow spray, and then I had this cloud die cut sitting on my desk for forever from a previous project, and I thought, yep, let's use it. Glue it down. And another old stencil here. I thought I would just kind of try something here. It didn't really work that well. I think it's because I had so much gesso and the spray already on there. I was going to just use my fingers to smudge. There's just too many open spots on that particular stencil, so it didn't really work out, but that's okay. So I'm going to flip it over and use it as a stamp, and I like how the back of this page is going to turn out. And that's another cool thing about stencils, is you could use them as stamps, just like I'm doing there. You can use it as spray right on top of it and then flip it over and stamp it down, and you get the opposite image. So there are my 2 fun little homemade pages. And I don't even know where they're going to go at this point. But I'm liking how this is looking kind of messy and random. And I thought, yeah, let's fold this little sheet over here. And I'm eventually going to wind up holding that together with one of the epoxy paper clips from Take Me Away. So I feel like I've got plenty of little pages here. And I want to get all of the pages organized first before I start to worry about the photos or the embellishing. And for several of the die cut pieces or the die cut cards, I wanted to back the spots, and so that's what I'm going to do here. I'm just going to back this flower with some of the paper from the Fancy Free 6x6 paper pad. And this part was really easy because these card pieces were already die cut, and backing them with paper is super quick and really easy, and it always looks so good because you can use little bits or a little part of a particular sheet because it only takes a little bit. You can see those leaves are tiny and those other little flowers are really small, so it only takes a little teeny piece of paper. So I got that one finished, and I want to do this one with the triangles. And I'm going to use that paper that looks like a bunch of shelves. And I'm just going to do each strip with a different color. So that one's done, and then I decide I need to do something on the back of this white piece. So I'm taking my 1-inch circle punch, and this is another fancy free paper from the 6x6, and I'm just going to punch out nearly all of these circles and create sort of a colorful scalloped, almost like fish scales look. And that was one of the hardest things I think about putting this together, is decorating the backs of things that are white. Some of the things I left just plain and white. Some of them I decorated and covered up, like I'm doing here with these circles. So here I come in with more flowers. I just want to jazz up some of the pieces in toward the back of the photo or the album. This is some of the Vicky Bouton blue acrylic paint. And I'm just going to add a little bit of this to the background card here so it shows around that pretty flower. And again, this was really quick to do as far as adding the mixed media part, because things are so small, and you know, a lot of it's going to be covered up with this flower, and so I just wanted it to be kind of subtle and just not so white. And I like how that turned out. And there is going to be a lot of thread in this mini album. You know who you're dealing with here. I'm addicted to thread. I can't make anything without the thread. So the thread, the ink, the spray, of course, it's going to be on everything I make. I feel like I'm lost without it. I don't know why, but I'm going to add that little tab that I punched to that piece that says the days are short, or the days are long but the years are short. And I actually got that from the specialty paper from Oh My Heart. Okay, so off camera, I pulled out my big cinch machine. Do you guys have a cinch, or have you heard of a cinch? I've had it for years and finally just took it out of the box. It's a binding machine. It punches holes, and then you put the binding in it. And this was the first time, and I did it, but it didn't turn out perfect, and that's okay. Now, what I did there just a second ago was I added some of the Take Me Away thickers to the front piece. It says Summer 2015, and I'm going to wind up stitching through that. That's going to be my cover page and my title. And now I'm going to start to embellish. I'm going to leave this piece white. I'm going to add some of the little fussy cut words that I cut out with some thread. And here's where I'm going to start to work on my pictures. Every page is not going to have a picture. Some of them are, you know, embellished more than others. Some of them are pretty plain, and that's okay. I learned really quickly that every page doesn't have to be super jazzed up. It's okay to have something plain. And there's another piece that I tore off camera and added some gesso and some spray to. And that piece of paper, the blue, is from Fancy Free. And that's a picture of my child splashing. And that's her favorite thing to do when we're in the pool. She thinks she's Shamu. And there needs to be a splash zone around her, because if you were standing near her, you're going to get wet. And she couldn't care less who you are, or if you have on clothes or a swimsuit. And there she is, licking the side of the pool. Yes, she's a little billy goat. She tries to eat everything and lick everything. She's so funny. Anyway, I'm adding some thread there, and I added a picture of my other daughter over on the left, and she's always smiling and having a good time. She hates being splashed, and she doesn't want to splash anybody, so they're completely on opposite sides of the pool all the time because of that, and it's very entertaining to watch. And my printer was giving me grief. That's why some of my pictures have black streaks behind them, or on the back of them, because my printer was telling me there was a paper jam when there wasn't. Yeah, you know, I'm sure you've all experienced that whole printer saga. All right, so I binded it. It kind of got crooked, but that's okay. Now, I kind of like how this turned out. I'm going to kind of show you. I did a lot of machine stitching. You can see there on the back of the cover, I did some white small zigzags all through all those rays, or I think they look like sun rays, but on all the lines. So I've got all the pictures down, well, most of them, and now I'm going to start working on the smaller embellishments like stickers, die cuts, and things like that. And that picture is of my youngest child throwing ice in the pool. She's addicted to she would go and find rocks and mulch and leaves and throw them in the pool, and so the pool kept getting dirty and disgusting. And so we thought, okay, she's obsessed with throwing things, so we would bring a little ice chest out, and she threw ice cubes, and so problem solved. And that's her pose after she throws the ice. She's like, ta-da! So I'm using some of the rose gold stickers from the Oh My Heart sticker book. These are the Oh My Heart puffy stickers. I'm making sure I'm including lots of flowers, fun little phrase stickers. And this was actually a lot easier to embellish than a layout, because I didn't feel like it had to match so perfectly, because the pages were kind of, you know, each page is a little bit different. And I was so proud. I finally used the Thumbs Up rose gold chipboard thickers from Oh My Heart, because I've been waiting for a time to use those. And pull time is always a thumbs up. And so I thought that looked really cool right there. And this photo, when I printed it long, I had a big open space on the left, and it was perfect for that circle. And I'm going to add that little chipboard piece right on top of it, along with some flowers. I think, maybe not. A chipboard sticker on top of that heart, along with some thread. And then I added some die cuts, some fussy cut flowers, and then the puffy scalloped border from Oh My Heart right underneath there. And I wind up doing my journaling, you know, toward the end. I know I've already got everything binded together. And so I just wanted to get it done so I could actually start to turn the pages like an actual book. Now, above and below this picture, I'm going to add some of the washi tape strips, and that's again from the Oh My Heart sticker book. And I think that looks cool. I like the way I added the smaller photo on the back of that small piece. More puffy stickers. And the pink flower on the right that's on top of the photo on the right, I fussy cut that from a sheet of the paper from Fancy Free 6x6. I'm going to add the word sunshine down here at the bottom using those small alphas, and I do glue those down to make sure they're stuck. So I think this is getting close to the end. I just kept going and going and going, so I'm going to show you what I did here. This is each page. This is the finished product. I added some more flowers to the left of the cover, and that little heart is just so cute. I stitched through it. I did add some sequins, and those are from Spiegel Mom's scraps. These are yellow. I love how this page turned out. Even though it's really simple, I love the pink and the yellow sequins mixed with the flowers. Now, this little epoxy clip is from Take Me Away. When you open it up, you can see the pictures completely, and then when you fold it and clip it in, they're covered up. And I think that's kind of cool. And then I've already showed you the thumbs up page and this little piece that I backed. That was one of the cut aparts from not Fancy Free, Oh My Heart, and the scalloped circles on the back. I added a couple of sequins to that and some of the metallic gold puffy heart stickers from Take Me Away. I tore a couple strips, or not tore, cut a couple strips of paper and added around the edges, added some sequins. That one I already completed on camera. I added some sequins and white puffy hearts on the left there. I wrote my journaling on that. And I just showed you that page there. I added some sequins to this page. This page I added some flower paper behind it, a sticker, more flowers, more fussy cut flowers, puffy stickers, more flowers, more die cuts, I cut those circles together just because I thought it looked cool like that. Another little cut apart piece with flowers, and then I added more sequins here with a puffy bird, just to kind of complete the whole idea of a scene. And then this picture is another long one where I added a tab to it and then hid some XOXO puffy stickers underneath it. Another journaling piece with another epoxy paper clip. And that picture I actually punched holes in and just used it as a page. Now this piece took some time. I did 3 different colors of machine stitching. It did take some time, but I love the texture it adds. And then you saw me make that piece and then the end. And the last 2 pages here are just more flowers and puffy stickers and sequins. And that's it. Even though my binding metal clip thingies are kind of crooked, you can still turn the pages, and I like how it turned out. For someone who is very intimidated by mini albums, and I don't feel like I'm super great at it, I like how it turned out. I think it's fun, it's different. I like the photos, I like all the different sized pages and edges and things like that. And you know, I think if I took more time to really plan it out a little bit better, it would probably turn out better, but I'm satisfied with it. I think it's cute. And of course, Paige's collections made it super easy to do. So these are all of the close-ups here. Let me know if you have any questions about anything. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm sorry that this video was so long, and as you can see, I still cut a lot of it out, but I wanted to keep in as much as I could. So I know in my giveaway video, people were saying that they would like to see more things besides layouts, and so hopefully this is something that you guys enjoyed, and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions or you know, about anything. So let me know what you think, and I will see y'all in my next video. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Thank you so much for watching.